Come on in. Come on. I know. I'm in a different corner, right? I have my desk behind me, my wall. My kitchen's over there. My living space is actually in front of me. I got good lighting right here, and I'm really comfortable. I have an amazing desk chair, which someday I'll show you a picture of it. Well, I can put a picture up here. So anyway, welcome back. How y'all doing? How's your week been? I haven't seen you in a New York minute or an Alabama second. um, I'm doing okay. Levi's doing okay. Mama's doing okay. My tiny home, no. She's doing okay. I have been busy. I have a list to show you. In the end, when I do the little segment called Just Around the Corner, I would love it if you would all hang around. I know some of you don't, but I would absolutely love it if you decided to just hang around. Why? Because the items that I buy from TEMU, that I show you from Amazon, Shine, AliExpress, wherever I get them from, when I do Just Around the Corner, I show you these items in place, in use, so that I can give you the final review on them, so to speak, and let you know how they've worked out for me. Were they worth it? Am I happy with the product? Would I recommend the product? It's not just about life. It's about life that has Timu and everything else in it and going on. And of course, I know you're all big fans of Mr. Levi and you all want an update, which I will give you. But I have a Timu order that finally all the pieces came. And guys, I'm waiting on. Okay, hold on. You got to slap me. Okay. This is my selecting hand. I'll hold the phone with this hand and I'll go, oh, 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 oh. So slap that hand because OMG. Normally my budget per order is roughly around $40 or so because I like to use up my credits and any kind of coupons and things that I get and then I have. The order that I have coming, I got one piece of it, and let's just say it comes up to my chest. It's about, I don't know, 2 feet wide and 4 feet tall and about 6 inches deep. It's a big item. And I got two other expensive, well, what I call expensive items. I blew my budget on this order. I literally did $97 in one order, which is not something I typically do. Yes, I did use credits and whatnot to help knock that price down, but wow, I got a big item to show you. Not today. Today we're going to do these, all right? All right, let's see if I can get into this bag without making a mess over everything. So the first thing I got, and it came from local warehouse, so it came in its own little bag, but it was ordered at the same time as the other ones. And I forgot to put the price on this. I think it was only a couple bucks, but I'll put the price up here for you. Don't worry, I'll dig up the price and put it up there. This is, if I can get it open, these are hosta seeds. This is a pack of, I believe, 100. Let me see if I can double check. Is it on the bag? It's not. I'll have to check on my order thing. But I believe it's either 100 or 200. It's a lot of hosta seeds. Now, these are not your typical, at least they're not supposed to be. These are not your typical green and white hostas that you see everywhere that gets the really tall, beautiful little purple flowers on them. This is what's called a Christmas hosta. And I'll put the pictures up here so you can see it. It is red and white with a shorter bloom on it, but it's still in the hosta family. These are going to line the side of the house and very possibly across the front. I'm not sure yet. But definitely they're going to line the side between the house and the shed, go up against the skirting there to give some color. They take 2 to 3 weeks to germinate from seeds when they're outside in the ground. As long as you plant after the risk of frost is done, then it shouldn't be a problem. I've started hostas from seeds before, and you have to be really patient. But once they start coming up, what I love about these is number one, the perennials. They come back every year, excuse me. And in the climate here where I am, where it doesn't really get to freezing, they almost never completely go dormant. Some of them will continue to grow year round. And they self-propagate, so they will thicken and get bigger and bigger. If you've ever grown hostas, you know you start with one, and in another year you have three, and another year after that you have eight. So as these grow, I'll be able to thin them out and move them around to other spots around the property. So my plan is sometime this week, coming up, probably Monday or Tuesday. We're supposed to get rain this weekend. I will go and get the soil that I need for them, and I will get these in the ground and get them started. So I'm excited. I love growing things from scratch. I love doing everything from scratch, you know, so the seeds are great. Okay, what's next? Oh, I got two of these, $5.29 each, and I did get a full refund for both. I tend to check everything out when it first arrives, and I actually went and asked for the refund before the postal service have even recorded these were delivered. But TEMU knew they were delivered because I sent them pictures. Anyway, these were supposed to be candles that were 3-inch wide on the base. And they were also supposed to be scented. Supposed to be. I thought they were very funky in shape, and I kind of liked them, and I loved the colors on them. So there's one. And oops, I got upside down. There's no way that this is a 3-inch candle. This is barely 2 inches across here. And these little outcroppings aren't even quite 3 inches, so they can't even count that. But it was supposed to be 3-inch wide, the whole candle, and the height is not 5 inches. It was supposed to be 5. And they have no scent whatsoever. Nothing. Now, a soy candle usually smells like soap. It smells fresh and clean. This doesn't smell like anything other than just plain wax. So I got a full refund. I've gotten two of them. I've got one in this chocolatey. Oops, I got to be careful because my laptop is balanced right now. I got one in this creamy color, which is kind of like a burnt orange, but not really dark. And then I got the other one in this chocolate color. And I thought they would complement, and I have a candle stand I was going to put them on. I'll put them on the candle stand for now, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Because I got refunded with them, and they're not what I expected. So, guys, give me your opinion. Should I put these in the 5,000 subscriber giveaway box? Would somebody like these? Or should I just kind of like donate them? Or just let them hang around until I do find the 3-inch candles that I was actually looking for? Yeah, no. I mean, I love the colors, but they're not what I ordered. So I'm kind of sad about that because I was really looking forward to them. I love things that are oddly shaped, and they're oddly shaped. Coffee. That's not grounds. That's actually chocolate. I wanted coffee this morning, but I also, and it's not cold. I just had this craving for hot chocolate. So I just put a little chocolate in my coffee. It's actually in the 70s right now. It's going to go up into the 80s. It's been unusually hot this week. We've been close to 90 almost every day this week, which is kind of rare even for this time of year. All right, $2.96 for a pack of 5. I don't know about you guys, but I am team sponge, not team foam. I hate foam. Foam sponges are not sponges. They're foam. These are the two-sided, and these are the old-fashioned. Got to rip it with my teeth. These are the old-fashioned or the original version of, what was that? I'm going to say the brand, Scotch-Brite. That had the good scrubby on one side and the real Look at that. It's real sponge. It's not foam. So it's a pack of 5. This one is not used, not damp. I did open up one of the other ones that I had, the last that I had, and these things, this will like double in size once it gets wet. It's the perfect size for the hand. The scrubbies are just like the Scotch-Brite pads, and they don't separate. They don't come apart when they're used. But yeah, regular ones. So I do have some packs of the foam ones, which I'm going to donate. Around here in the neighborhood, we have a community share type of thing, a community pack. Um, that's the word I'm looking for. It's like a trade type thing where if what someone doesn't want, you can donate, and anybody else in the community is welcome to have it. I'm trying to dig things out of the bottom of this bag. Okay. So I may donate that. You know, my neighbors might want them. And this is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was a penny. You know how they offer those penny deals? This is a pack of 6 sponges. 6. Right? Totally dehydrated. So if I want just a sponge, which I'm going to need a lot of these for the things I'm doing around the house, for like the drywall work. If you see behind me, these walls haven't been done yet. It'll be a while. But I wet sand, and all these little nail holes, these screw heads that you see on the wall, these little black dots, those are the screws. When I have to go over those with a joint compound, I don't need a big giant sponge. I like a sponge that fits in my hand, which is why I have no nails, because I'm doing everything inside, outside around the house. But I like these sponges. They swell up to the same size as those. They'll get about that thick. This is my second time I've got the pack. I think originally the pack 6, it wasn't that bad. It was like 89 cents, but I got this on the penny deal. So these will actually go into my toolbox, which is kind of sitting over here. And I will have those for wall work, right? Okay. Now, some of you have messaged me about a concern on my bedroom sliding door and the lack of privacy. Well, I did show you, I think, in the last video that I do have that film on the windows that let light through, but kind of block out any real images. But yes, at night, when I'm standing outside and looking in through those frosted windows, you can see shadows and outlines, and you can't really make out anything in particular. But if you know what's in the house, like I know what's in the house, so I know what I'm seeing. I said, all right, I do have to do something, at least at night, where I can draw a curtain and not have to worry about that. So I got these, and when I found them, I fell in love with them. Now, I'll put a picture up here of the rug that's in the bedroom with the colors so that you can see why I picked this shade of green. This is like a dark sage type of color. It's not a forest green. It's just, I just love it. These were $9.24 a piece, and these are oversized. These are, what are they? 55 inches wide and 78 inches long. Now, the door itself is only 72 inches, so it gives me room to put the curtain rod up above it and have it hang and not puddle on the floor. I don't want anything puddling on the floor in the bedroom. But I want to show you these. These are absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Look at this print. Can you see this leafy print? Look at those leaves in there. Isn't that absolutely beautiful? It's a grommet style on the top. They are 100% polyester, so they are washable, right? This is an oversized panel so that the window on one side is only, I think it's 32 inches. So this will have a good amount of ripple, right? But you put this over what's already on the window and it'll give me enough of a privacy screen. Scalloped edges. Can you see those? Hang on. See if I can do it this way. See how the edges are scalloped? They're not straight down. Scalloped edges. Nice hem across the bottom. Really nice reinforced hem across the bottom. I just love this lace pattern. Absolutely love this. Very, very, very well made. And even on the top by the grommet, the seam is in the back. You don't see a seam in the front, so to speak. Yes, I know you can see me through it, but remember, this is going on over the frosted. And once I get this up, probably in the next video, I will show you what it looks like from the inside of the room and from the outside at night when the bedroom light is on. So you can see what I believe it's going to do for me. But I just fell in love with that. And this material is really nice. The weave on here is absolutely beautiful. So it's $9.24 for one panel, but for $18 for two oversized panels, that's a steal. This is long. I'm trying to not let it drag on the floor. But yeah, I just absolutely love the color. And you'll see, if you look at the picture, you'll see how it blends just beautifully with the green. The colors in that rug, there's actually two different shades of green. I went with the ones that are a little bit darker because I thought they would give me a little bit more privacy at night. But during the day, I can pull them off to the side, let the light come in through those windows, and at night, just pull them across. With the grommets, that's super easy to do. Okay. This goes with that. Now, in a previous order, you saw me get these hangers. These are supports for curtain rods. If you have a curtain rod that's super long, which this one obviously has to be, this one has to be about 80 inches to go across the length of the sliding door, you need a support rod in the middle. So this will go up on the wall in the middle. The rod will go through it. It'll get secured by that little screw. I had gotten these originally for something else that I was going to hang. That's going to make a little closet out of. And that got used for something else. So I had these left over. So my plan is to use those on the curtain rod. And this is the curtain rod. This is a 1-inch adjustable rod. I'm sitting in front of the fan because I have to have my HVAC unit charged. So this is an expandable curtain rod. You see this piece comes out? Right, so I can mix and match to make any kind of length that I need to make. There's 3 pieces right there already. 4, and this is a 1-inch rod, as I said. There's the rest of it. 5. I know it looks like 4, but remember, there's 1 inside the other one. All right, so you've got 5 rods right there. I'm trying not to let the plastic blow all over the place. Oh, and the foam. And then it comes with, of course, the end pieces that go on the wall. Now, let me show you why this one is so different. And I'll put a picture up so that you can see it. Let me get this stuff out of my hands. But this is metal rod. This is not plastic. I don't know if you can hear. That's metal. All right. Good and sturdy and strong. And I wanted something strong because I'm going to be sliding everything back and forth across it. And I want it to not bow and not bend. So it comes with all the hardware that you need. 2 sets of hardware. Hold on. There's the other set. Okay, sheetrock screws and the anchors to help hold it in, which I will need. And then these are what go up against the wall. And you're thinking, okay, if this goes up against the wall, not side to side, well, it's because there's different parts. There's more parts. Parts is parts is parts. Come out. These are the rod supports that I'm not going to be using. I don't like those kind of supports. Extra anchors, big anchors. Okay, I don't know if you can see those, but these are massive anchors. Look at the size of those. Extra anchors. And you need the bigger anchors for those particular pieces. And then, come on out. It's stuck in the box. Okay. So here's how this one goes. These are, what do I call them? Industrial, I guess. Curtain rod. Hold on. I got all these little parts. Okay. So this has a screw on the end. After you attach this to the wall, you screw this in. Left, right, center. Okay, you can see it's going in. It screws into there. And then your curtain rod goes into here. So this goes on the wall. It comes out and then travels over. Pretty cool, right? I like the way it does that. There is the parts. There's a little nut that goes on. A little nut. Yeah, there's a little nut that goes on the inside of this to lock it into place. So it brings the rod out from the wall and then across, and then it screws in. I like these. And again, I'll put your picture up here so you can see what this rod is going to look like once it's up. I'll have to do some careful measurements because I don't want this, as I said, I don't want it puddling on the floor or even dragging across the floor. I'm going to have it about an inch, maybe an inch and a half above the floor. Yeah, I'll have a little more privacy. And curtain rods are not all that complicated to put up, right? So I think, hold on. I got all these pieces all over the place here. Yes. Okay. So that was all the pieces of that curtain rod, the curtains, the candles. I don't know what to do with those candles, guys. I really don't. So anyway, let's talk about what's going on just around the corner. I know that wasn't a big order, but it was kind of pricey. The curtain rod was not cheap, and nor were the curtains. But I stayed in budget on that particular order. So, just around the corner, what have I been doing? Holy cow. I have a list. I actually wrote things down because I was afraid I was going to miss something, right? So, I will put pictures up for you of everything that I've been doing. And these are mostly, well, actually they are. It's all TEMU products that I have assembled and or installed or put to use in my home. And I'll show you the pictures and I'll let you know exactly how they came out. So let's start at the top. The first thing I want to show you is a picture of what I call my to-do tub. People have a to-do list. I have a to-do container. This tub, not only was it full, but it was stacked probably a good 1.5 feet, almost 2 feet high above the tub with things I had to do. I had to assemble, put into place, install, whatever. And now you can see the tub is probably at least a quarter, if not a third, emptied and getting down there. So that's a good thing. So my to-do tub is shrinking. Now, I put together the hose stand that I got from TEMU. And I pop up some pictures here so you can see the process of putting it together. It was not hard to do. It took me maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I wasn't rushing through it. You could rush through it and do it faster, but I was watching TV, taking my time, putting it together. And then I took it outside. Now, some of you are going to say, why is it so far from the faucet? It's temporarily where it is because I have a water pipe that is running out from underneath the house across the walk area towards the parking slab. And until I finish the landscaping, or until my resident, I don't know what you want to call him, the handyman, until they finish the landscaping around my site here, I didn't want that hose or that water line to be in danger. So for now, I put the hose thing over it to protect it and to mark it. So once everything is done, then I will move it closer. Now, I can't put it on the other side of the faucet because I have an electrical outlet there on the outside of the house. And you always have to have a distance minimum of 3 feet from an exterior water thing to an exterior electrical. So I will move it closer to the faucet, but it'll stay on the side of the faucet that it's at. So this hose that you see on it, this is one of those flex hoses that I also got from TEMU, and it's a 50. I think it's a 50-foot hose. It's either a 50 or 75-foot hose. I have to check my records, but it's one of those that gets bigger as you fill it up. So it doesn't take a lot of room on there, but I will be getting another section of hose because I do need at least 150 feet so I can go around the house one way or around the house the other way and have plenty of hose. So that hose stand will get filled up. The landscaping they've been doing outside. Look at the before picture and you can see that, it was all just, a little bit of dirt and the side of the house was being done. And then the after picture where they've gotten the gravel in, they've gotten everything leveled, and that strip of dirt you see, that's my planting space. I'll be putting something like pea gravel or something small, stones, right up against the house for drainage, because you never plant right up against your house. So I'll be putting some stones along those edge, and then that strip of dirt that's left is where I'll be planting the hostas. So I think that'll bring some nice color over to that space. Now, I'm going to throw up a couple pictures of Levi up here in the middle before I actually talk about him. But he is just the most adorable thing. Why am I putting a picture of him up here eating? Because a week ago on Friday, when he first went to the vets, he was put on a blood thinner twice a day and given a shot of iron. The blood thinner knocked him for a loop. Literally, he didn't barely have the energy to stand. He did not eat for 3 days. 3 days. He had a couple of sips of water, and I contacted the vet immediately, and I said, look, the heart medication, he's having side effects too. Because I did my research, and I looked it up, and sure enough, every possible side effect that could come from that ACE blocker, he was having. So we cut the dose in half and only give it to him once a day in the morning. And it took a couple of days, but he did start eating again, and his energy came back, and his playfulness came back. He's sleeping with his head almost kind of falling off his bed. He's got his toys around his feet and his chewy in his mouth. So anyway, so you can see eating was a big deal. And to get him to eat, I used one of my dinner plates and I put his food on it. And he decided that, oh, it's people food, so I can eat it. Psychological thing, right? I know if you have pets, you've had to do that. But then the other is his beautiful little face with his paw on my knee, begging me because he wanted a treat. And for those 3 days, he had turned his nose up at treats. He didn't even want treats, but now he wants them again. So I just figured I'd throw those in there because they're kind of like happy pictures for me. The closet lights that I got from TEMU, these are motion sensor lights, and it came in a set of 3. They are rechargeable, USB rechargeable lights, so no batteries involved. And there is an option. You can either put them up on a screw or you can just put them up with the 2-sided tape. I chose to put them up with the 2-sided tape. We'll see how that works going forward. If it doesn't work good, then I'll just change them and put them up with a screw. But why waste a screw, right? But there's 3 of them. They were all meant for my closet, and I've got one at one end of the closet, one at the other end of the closet, and one directly over the opening to the closet, and it works beautifully. And when I come in the back door at night, the first thing I notice is the one at the far end of the closet that faces me. It picks up my motion of me coming in that door, and it turns on. I'm okay with that. It gives me a little night light in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't turn any lights on other than the outside light when I take Levi out. So, yeah, I'm all right with having that little nightlight to get back into the house. Okay. And the bathroom light that I got, and this is the magnetic light. I put that up on the framing as you enter the door to the bathroom, and it is absolutely perfect. It's in the perfect spot. It's at head height. It's in the perfect location. I take 2 steps into the bathroom, and the minute it senses me, it comes on. It stays on for about 15 seconds. And if I want it back on, I just have to wave my hand and it comes right back on again. But it's enough to get me in there so that I don't trip on the rug, or sometimes Levi likes to leave a toy. He'll lay on the rug if I'm taking a shower or something, and he'll leave his toys behind, just like a kid, right? So charging them was easy, as you can see here in the picture. I put them all on the charger at the same time, and my little charger has 4, so that worked out perfectly. So when one needs to be charged, I'll just charge them all at the same time to keep them all charged at the same time. Does that make sense? So far, everything A+ from TEMU. And I will put the links for all this stuff. I know I haven't been doing a lot of links lately, but life has been crazy. And I just like to get the videos up. But I will be putting the links for all this stuff in there. Now, I had gotten a 2-pack of underbed rolling storage containers. And I got those put together. And I got them filled. One of them has throw blankets in it. And the other one, as I talked about, has all my backup bathroom stuff in it, which I'm not going to show you a picture of them full. You can just imagine. But they went together easy. They're very sturdy. I highly recommend this particular model simply because the sides of it they're stationary. It's poles. It's strong. It doesn't bend. It doesn't cave in. I really like this. I've gotten a different version, but this is my favorite, which is why I had gotten the 2-pack. So they come in the 2-pack and they come single. But absolutely love the underbed storage. My clock, guys, I don't know if I showed you this before. You can probably see it behind my head if I tilt this a little bit. The clock is right up there where I said I was going to put it. If you look right there, okay, there's my New York Grand Central Station clock, and I love it. I've gotten so many compliments on it. It's the perfect spot for it. It's the perfect size. Now, granted, up there it doesn't look as big, but remember, the middle of that clock is bigger around than my head, and I have big heads. But up there it looks tiny, but up there it's 9 feet in the air. But it's perfect. I'm in the kitchen. I come out of the bedroom. I can see the time. I'm sitting in the living room. I turn my head. I can see the time. I come in from the porch. I come in the house. Yes, I have digital clocks on my stove and on my microwave, but that clock just catches my eye. I love it. And no ticking noise. No tick. I hate battery clocks that you hear that constant tick. That does not make a sound. Even before I mounted it, it only takes 2 screws. When I put the battery, it takes 1 AA battery in each side of the clock. And when I got it working and I set the time on it, there was no tick, even when it was right in front of my face. It's silent. I love that about it. That's one of my favorite things. Okay. The rod for the kitchen. Now, I'm going to show you, I haven't showed you yet, but I'm going to show you in a second that I had gotten the curtain rod for my living room window curtains, and that I was doing the internal spacing, so I had to cut a little bit of it. But because of the length of the rods I had gotten, I had 2 leftover pieces. Now, there's a method to my madness, right? Everybody's like, why? So, for the price of 1 rod, I actually got enough rod for 3 windows. The 2 windows in the living room, because I mounted them on the inside of the frame and not put screws into that beautiful wood. And these 2 leftover pieces screw together like this. And this is the perfect length for the kitchen window. And I'll put a picture up here, me holding it. That's what the rod is going to look like. So I didn't have to buy an extra rod to put the balance in the kitchen window because I had this left over. Now, if I had cut the wrong ends on those, I would have been screwed. But what I did was I took 2 pieces that I knew would fit together, and then I did the living room windows. So I now have my curtain rod for my window at no extra cost. My kitchen will be very happy. I haven't found a valance for it yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to put up. But again, I'm going to take my time and pick what I want. All right. I have no idea. Oh, see, I give myself notes and I don't know what I mean. I call this a bag rod. I'm like, what the heck is a bag rod? If you remember in one prior video, I had gotten a short, like a 10-inch industrial metal rod that I was going to mount in the bathroom and use to hang things on. And that didn't work because of the size of the opening. I had mismeasured. That's on me. So I believe I let you know that I was going to use it to hang my totes on in the bedroom. And that's exactly what I did. Check this out, right? I mounted it. I put a couple. Hold on. I grabbed my biggest tote and I hung it on that rod, and then I held it up to the wall so I could figure out where I wanted to place it. I put that rod on the wall, and then as you can see, I hung all my totes up so that I can see what I have. I can grab them easily. They don't take up drawer space. They don't take up closet space, and they kind of make a nice little decor in the room. Plus, they're out of the way. They're tucked in a corner that is wasted space, which now is not wasted space. So I made use of a rod for another purpose other than what I bought it for, and it helps save space in my tiny home. So that's what the bag rod means. I should have put tote rod on there, then I would have known. But anyway, I had gotten the 2 little remote control holders, or that's what I call them. I put one I haven't put up yet in the living room because I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. But the other I put on the side of my nightstand. Check it out right here. And that holds the remote for my mini split in the bedroom. And it is wide enough that it will also hold the remote for my TV once I find the remote. I found the Roku device. I got the TV, obviously, but I can't find the remote. I know I have it someplace, and I am not going to spend the money on another one until I find it. It'll surface. Everything surfaces eventually. It'll surface. So that I got the remote holder in. Now, the living room curtains. Okay, guys. A lot of you had sent me messages or left comments about how I was going to hang the living room curtains. I'm a little outside the box with the way that I do things, and I like to do things that's not normal for most people. I don't, yeah. I kind of beat to a different drum. You already know that, right? If you know me, you know that. So I already knew that I was going to be mounting the curtain rods on the inside of the frame so that all that beautiful natural wood would continue to show, not be hidden and not be damaged. So I got the rods cut and up and got the beautiful curtains in, and I love how they look. Now, there is about an 18-inch gap where the light is coming in on the top, and right here, you can see that light coming in, but below that is the curtains. Okay, there you go. That particular curtain is open because I'm letting some fresh air come into the house. I have the window open, so I move the curtain to the side. That gap is intentional. I did not get these curtains in a size that would fill the entire window because I wanted to put a different valance on there. So the curtains come down and they hang about an inch, maybe an inch and a half below the bottom window sill. It's perfect. Right? It's perfect. I could move them down a little lower if I wanted to, but in the big order with that giant item that I described to you in the beginning of the video, I also ordered the valances, 2 valances that are going to go above those. My only decision I have to make when the valances come is, do I want to mount them above the frame, because I'm not going to mount them inside the frames? Do I want to mount it above the frame and still leave a little peekaboo? Or do I want to mount them a little lower so that it overlaps and you don't see the rod and the grommets on the burnt orange curtains. Now, I'll give you a hint. The top curtains are in a cream color, and they're macrame. They are a macrame weave design, and my intent is to have them go completely across and not be tucked in between. I just don't know at what level I'm going to hang them, if I want to leave a little peekaboo of light, or if I want them to hang and overlap. Such a dilemma, right? Yeah, I know. You guys will give me an opinion, but hold off on the opinion until you see them, because what I will do to help us decide is I will use thumbtacks and I will tack them at 2 different heights so that I can figure out which looks better. But I'm excited. I'm excited. So they were expensive. Macrame valances are expensive. I think they were, oh my gosh, $20 or more a piece. Yeah, but they're so worth it because I'm getting what I want. It's worth it. All right. So that's coming. The door stop, the flip up door stop. OMG, this thing has been a blessing. Thank you, TEMU. All I had to do was drill 3 holes into my aluminum storm door. And you can see I put it on here. When I closed the door, I marked it. I had the door closed, and then I marked it where it would not interfere with the door closing before I mounted it, and the height at what I needed it to work, obviously, when it was down. It was a little stiff at first. Most things when they're new are, but this thing is a dream. I open the door and I just take my foot and I flip the thing down. It holds it steady. We've had some serious wind here and that door has not moved. And when I close it at night, and I usually leave it open all day long because remember, my front porch is completely screened in. So I don't get any buggies or critters coming in. So I can leave that door open for air. All I have to do is go out, push the door back just a touch, and use my big toe to flip that puppy up. I'm telling you, it's great. I had a load of groceries in my hands, and all I had to do was hold the door with my arm, use my foot, and flip it down, and wow, okay. Highly, highly recommend this. The quality is great. It's sturdy. It holds. It doesn't skitter across the floor. So if you need anything like this, whether it's for an interior door or an exterior door, I recommend these 100%. You've got my approval. Okay. The last thing on this list, and this is really unusual, but I had gotten requests from several of you to show you my laundry machine and to walk you through my laundry machine. Now, right now, it's running. You can't hear anything. I think the only thing you might be able to hear is I have the fan blowing in the house, and I do have the front door open, so you might hear a little bit of traffic. I don't know. But I don't even hear the washer at this point. And I know it's running. I can tell it's running, but it's quiet. So y'all wanted to know how, what brand was it? How was it? What functions did it have? So I did this little video clip this morning, and I'm going to stick it in here. It's only about 2-3 minutes. So check this out. If you're interested in getting a machine that is a combo where it washes and dries in one machine, you load it and you walk away. When it's done, okay, now here's the weird thing. I have to figure out if I can change this or not. But when it's completely done washing and drying and it's ready for you to go get your clothes and hang them up, it plays jingle bells. Jingle bells. Jingle bells. Yeah, not the words, just a dee-dee-dee, 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 dee-dee, in tones. It really gets your attention when you hear jingle bells coming from the bedroom. But check this out, right? Check out the video, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so let's see how easy it is to do laundry in this machine. Now, this brand is called an Equator, and it came from Lowe's. They do have a lot of different sizes, styles, brands. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the power button over here, and I want to show you all the different options. So this is your washing cycles on this side. So you can wash, refresh, you can time dry it. There's a pet cycle, which basically sterilizes and deodorizes. Self-clean is to clean the machine. Winterize is for people that are maybe snowbirds and they don't use the machine year-round. Sanitize is for anything that you want to really get clean, like baby blankets, or if you're using cloth diapers for a child. Allergen is if you're obviously have a lot of allergies and exposed and have pollen. You can do a pre-wash, a heavy load, an economy load. If you do an eco load, it changes it to a 2-hour time frame, which I do the eco because I don't have anything really heavy and gritty. You can do a quick 20-minute wash. You can do your delicates. You can do a wool cycle. All right, and if you want it really, really, really quiet, but this thing is so quiet, I don't even use this. It has an add a sock option where you can press and hold this button after you start it in case you forget and you want to throw something in. Here's your choices. When I put it on eco, it automatically gives me the wash dry combo. I can do wash or just dry. I can change my dryer level. Even on eco, I can change my dryer level. I do normal. If you have anything heavier like towels or blankets, you go up a level to extra. But I do normal. I don't need a delay to start this. And this is a ventless machine. I do have it vented, but it doesn't need a vent, just so you know. So on the eco cycle, there's all my settings. Now I'm going to load the machine. Okay, so I've got 15 items in here. There's still room for more, but I don't like to overfill it simply because you have this that has to go inside the machine, and if you overfill it, it makes things too tight to move. So 13 to 15 lightweight items. Push it to lock it closed. Here's your pull-out drawer. Soap, fabric softener, or pre-wash. I only ever need to use the wash, and I'm going to tell you, I have never had to use fabric softener in this machine at all. Let me get my soap in here. Doesn't take much soap. It's a small machine, so it only takes about a 1/4 cup, and I like to keep that capped. Anyways, I was saying I never use softener in it because of the way it dries in the same machine. With the moisture, it acts as its own fabric softener. So I'm ready to go. All I have to do is push the start button. The lock comes on to show me that everything is locked. I'm in eco mode. It'll take 2 hours and 31 minutes for the entire cycle, and that's the wash, rinse, spin, and normal dry. It's already moving. I don't know if you can see. If I go here on the side, you can see the spinning. And I'm going to stop talking for a second because you won't even hear the machine. Isn't that incredible? Super quiet. I got a pedestal to go on the bottom of it to get it up so I don't have to bend. My pedestal holds every extra little thing I need, little bags, my dryer stuff. If I have to wash anything delicate and I put it in one of these in the machine, it holds my collapsible bucket. This is a big drawer. It holds a lot. It's filling now with the water. I don't know if you can hear it. But that's it. That's all there is to it. It's a great little machine. It doesn't take a lot of laundry soap because I only use about a 1/4 cup. You can use a half a cup, up to a half a cup in the machine. It gives you instructions, but on average, I put 13 to 15 pieces in there because they're lightweight. If you're doing things like jeans and towels, then you want to minimize. You might only be able to put 6 or 7 pieces in there, depending on how heavy they are. Just because there's room in the tub, you got to remember there's that big clear plexi piece that has to stick into the tub when you close the door. So you have to leave room for that to go in. You don't want that to be impeded with, because when the door closes, your clothes spin around that thing. That helps beat them, so to speak, and wash them. So you can't overload the machine. That's the big thing. It will take a lightweight blanket. It will not take a quilt. It's not big enough for a quilt. But, quilts don't need washing all that often. There's a laundry center just down the road that I can take my heavy quilt to if I need to. But it will take my lightweight queen size blanket, because I did wash that when I first arrived. Trying to think what else. Towels, bath towels, so to speak, when I take my shower, my hair towels. I put usually about 8 full-size towels in there and a couple of washcloths. It doesn't vibrate unless it's on the spin cycle, and that's any machine, is going to go, and it's going to vibrate on the spin cycle. When it does spin, you feel the vibration in the floor in the house, which is not a big deal. I think if you were standing at home and you had a full-size washing machine, and depending on what floor it was on, you probably would still feel that vibration. I know I did in my house back in New York. If I stood in front of the machine, I would feel the vibration. So it doesn't concern me that there's that little bit. It doesn't bother the house any, right? But everything comes out dry. If you set it like I have mine set on normal, based on what I put in it. If you open the door and things are damp, this is what I love about this machine. All you have to do is turn it off, hit the power button, shut it off, wait 2 seconds, turn the power back on, and hit the button that says dry only, and then set your temperature depending on how much. Be careful with the extra, all right? If you have lightweight clothes like what I'm wearing, all right? In other words, if it's not jeans, if it's not towels, if it's just regular lightweight blouses and shorts, do not use extra. It gets hot and it'll almost smell like your clothes are burning. So on any of those machines, you don't want to use the extra. So you can just, in a case like that, you can just use the dry only feature, and you can set it for an extra 60 minutes. You can set it for the eco, which will run, I think, for 45 minutes or 50 minutes. But you can just do your dry only and give it a little extra more dry. I had to do that until I kind of figured out what I was putting in the machine to what settings to use. So it takes a little experimenting and it takes a little practice, but I highly recommend at least this particular model. I've had no issues with it. It's beautiful. It's quiet. It holds just enough. I only have to do a load of laundry once a week, and it only uses about 12 gallons of water per load, where your standard washing machines will use anywhere from 20 to 30 gallons to do a load. So it's very economical. It is an energy saver machine, so it's got that yellow energy tag thing design on it. I've done a lot of laundry since I moved in here, and my first power bill for 4 weeks, my electric bill was only $15. And that includes running that machine and running my dishwasher every 4 or 5 days when my dishwasher's full. So economically friendly. All right. I highly recommend, if you want something that is going to save you space, number one. Number two, you load it and forget about it till it's done. You don't ever have to bend down and take clothes from a washer and then put them in a dryer and bend and bend and bend and lift and bend. Forget it. And because I put it up on the pedestal, I don't have to bend it all to load it. The only thing I have to bend for is to dig into my hamper to get the clothes out and put them in the machine. I have my laundry turtle, which, as you saw before, is that little pink disc. Now, the turtle will not fit inside this machine because it's not a full-size machine. What I do is I put my little laundry turtle on top of the machine. I open it up, put it on top, and as I take the clothes out, I just put them on the turtle, and then I grab the turtle and carry it over to the bed where I can either sit on the edge of the bed or stand there and fold everything or put it on hangers. So I can still make use of my turtle. I'm not parting with my turtle. So that's the TEMU stuff. That's the laundry stuff. Now, Mama's doing good. I'm still having difficulty reaching her by phone, but I do get a call from my friend with Mom on Sunday, so I'm expecting to talk to her tomorrow. I have not heard back yet from the owner of the assisted living where she is about this telephone issue and why my number is blocked. I don't know what's going on. I have to borrow a phone still in order to get through. So I know it's my particular number that's blocked because I can get through to her if I borrow a neighbor's phone or if I go down to the office here and use their phone to make a call. I can get through. It's just my personal phone number. So I've read your comments about what could be the problem, and I agree. I'm not going to say what I think the problem is, but either way, they're not doing anything to resolve it. So I'm going to have to find a way to just work around it and stay in touch with the mama. That's important, right? But last I spoke with her, she's doing good, and she sounds wonderful. Now, Mr. Levi. He went back to the vets yesterday for a second follow-up and to complete his evaluation. He had been on, as I said earlier, he had been on the ACE blockers, the blood thinners, which was too high of a dose for him. So now he's on only one per day. He's bounced back. His appetite is good. He's on a new dog food, which I think it's called Hill's Science Diet, and it's a multi-organ support. I'll put a picture up here if I think about it, though I'm not sure yet. You'll either get words or a picture. I'll put something up there to identify it. This food is like opening a can of soup. Have you ever opened up a can of like chicken noodle soup or vegetable beef soup? Not the hearty ones, not the chunky ones, just the regular ones where they're soupy? That's what this is. This is not solid food. This is not chopped up food. This is a soup. It's got little tiny bits of vegetables and chicken or turkey or something in it, and it's very digestible, and it's easy for an older dog or a dog that has issues with internal inflammation like Levi. His system can't handle a big solid mass of food like dry food or chunky food, anything too big or heavy, because the inflammation that's being caused in the inside of his system from this tumor is kind of squishing everything down. So by giving him a primarily liquid diet with a little bit of fillers, he's doing good, and he loves it. I gave him half a can, and he inhaled it, and then he sat down there and wanted more. So I gave him the other half of the can, and he ate the whole thing. It's just so heartwarming. It's so good to see him wanting to eat and finding a food that he actually wants to consume. Levi is kind of a weird dog. He's not one of those that when you put his food down, he'll just dive right into it and inhale it. You put his food down, he'll eat when he's ready to eat. But when he eats, he cleans his plate. So his appetite is good. His energy levels are good. When we go out for a walk, if I pick up the pace a little bit, he'll get into a little trot, and he doesn't get winded. He doesn't pull on the leash and want to stop and take a break. He just keeps going. So he's doing okay that way. His energy levels are back up, and that's thankfully because of all the iron. We did not put him on prednisone because the particular type of tumor he has, prednisone doesn't really do anything to slow it down. So there's no need in putting an extra chemical or an extra drug into his body. What we're doing for him is comfort care and to maintain what health that he does have. And that's the Hill Science diet. So that gives him nutrients to support his heart, his liver, his pancreas, his kidneys, mostly kidney and liver support, which is what he needs. Well, any older dog needs that. So we're doing that. We are keeping him on a single dose of the ACE blocker so that his heart doesn't have to work as hard. He's not straining. He doesn't run out of energy. He sleeps. He's playful. This morning he got up and all he wanted to do was play with his rawhide chip. He just ran around the house, chewing on it in one spot and then bringing it back to another spot. And now he's taking his normal morning nap. We did get a little better prognosis on him. And my little man probably has about 6 months. Now, in 6 months will be October. That will be his 13th birthday. I'm realistic. All right. If I am blessed enough to have him through till like August to maybe another 4 months, that would be a true blessing. I am not going to try to hang on to him for that 6 month period. We are going to do continuous monitoring. Once a month, he's going to get an x-ray so that we can check on the growth of the tumor, and do a comparative to the month before. That'll give us an idea of how quickly it's growing, how much space it's taking up in his abdomen. Because the thing is that what will kill him is not the tumor itself. It's the side effects of the tumor that's going to kill him. It is basically his spleen will enlarge to the point, like a water balloon, like we talked about, that it just can't enlarge anymore and it ruptures. That will fill his body with toxins, and that's what will take him. I don't want it to get to that point where this thing ruptures and hurts him. Just like with Sadie, I didn't want the cancer to explode her bladder and put her through that horrible pain and a horrible end of life. Levi's going to go out just as gently and just as lovingly as Sadie did. And yes, I'm sad I'm going to lose him. But I've always known that, especially once he hit 12 years old, I knew that it was a matter of time before I lost him. The only difference now is instead of wondering how much longer I'm going to have him, now I know. So he's getting spoiled and he's getting loved on and he's loving on the mama back. So we're keeping things light and happy and positive and just everything that we can do for him because it's about him. My heart will heal. My heart will break, but my heart will heal as it's done with all my other animals that I've rescued and all my other animals that I've had to help them cross. So yeah, I'm not a believer in the rainbow bridge. My dogs, my pets, they cross, they go to heaven. Period. That's it. Up the stairs, into the clouds, up in heaven, where all their other predecessors are waiting for them. So my boy will have his chance to be back with Sadie again. And I know they're always going to be around me. That's one of the blessings that I have of having the gifts that I have is that I can still communicate with my animals. And yes, animals that have crossed over do communicate with you, just like spirits and people do. So that's where we're at. That's my TEMU order for today. That's my TEMU product review for things that are in place from TEMU that I'm using in and outside my home. That's an update on the mama, an update on the Levi. How am I doing? I don't know. I don't know. I'm numb, I guess. I just take it one day at a time, sometimes one moment at a time, but no, I'm doing all right. All things considered and everything that I have to deal with, I am doing okay. I'm excited for more things that are coming down the pike with the tiny home. Right now, the team here in the community where I live. They are working on my back stairs, which I forgot to mention. I'm not going to put pictures of them until they're done, but they're working on the back stairs. They had to, the ground here is definitely not level. They had to raise the stairs up by about 8 inches just so that I didn't have to jump out the back door onto the stairs. But because of that, and because of the landscaping here, they actually have to build me an additional step to get down to ground level. So I'll go pick up the materials for that. They'll build that. You'll get more pictures to show. Tiny home living so far. Big thumbs up, right? No complaints about the space, no complaints about the layout that I designed. Everything is exactly as I expected. The community here is unbelievable. I'm meeting new neighbors all the time, constantly. I am a couple of ladies and we go out walking every day. When they live next to each other, they come around the corner, they ring my bell and say, "Come on, it's time to go walk." I leave Levi in the house, let him rest. I go out with them. We make a loop around about 1.5 miles, 2 miles, but we're just out walking and socializing and talking. Yeah, it's wonderful. And everybody here watches out for each other. So I'm very happy with the location. I'm very happy with the weather. Yes, there have been tornadoes. The closest one was about 8 miles from me where it touched down. But historically, where I am, I'm not in Tornado Alley. Just so you guys know, I am not in what they call Tornado Alley. I'm actually a little offside to what they call Dixie Alley. So it's like a second zone that cuts through Arkansas, Alabama, and Georgia. It's a different weather zone, but the weather zone goes like this, and I'm like over here. So I'm just offside where I get to see it and know about it, but I don't have to run from it, and I'm not afraid of it. Mother Nature's going to do what Mother Nature does, right? So anyway, guys, that's enough. I could ramble forever. A big thumbs up, right? TEMU products are great. I have 6 more orders coming. Big stuff, as I told you about. I still am waiting for an item to come by sea that goes with another order. We have a lot more household things coming and household decor things coming. More big stuff coming, right? Don't forget to share this, get it out so that everybody can see it and see what great bargains and things you can get from TEMU, and to see how they work out in the house. What are they actually like when they're put in motion, so to speak, and made use of. And don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I would appreciate it. And somebody out there is going to get a massive box when I hit 5,000 subscribers. Would love to be able to do that sometime this year. We're close. We're at 3,900, 38, 3,900. We can get there. If you're watching this, hit the subscribe button, right? Please. Thank you. Anyway, guys, remember, stay hydrated. I got to warm that up. It's gotten cold. Above all else, please stay sweet. Please, right? And I will catch you soon with more TEMU and more updates. Bye.